got in country. Geronimo. All stations, target secure, target secure.
Roger, copy that. Target secure.
Target secure, commence SSE.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama Bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
The announcement sparked immediate jubilation. In Times Square, people gathered around giant news tickers to see the latest updates and take in the moment they heard the world's most wanted terrorist was dead.
It's just amazing. We were walking out of a pizza joint and all of a sudden it was like...
Forward days before the 2004 U.S. presidential elections, a tape was released by Al Jazeera. The elections between George W. Bush and John Kerry were being contested on the question of international relations and countering terrorism.
Victory and success of a war on terror.
All progress on every other issue depends on the safety of our citizens.
In this tape, Osama bin Laden appeared to the world claiming that he was the key person who planned the 9/11 attacks, more clearly than before. After the 9/11 attacks, US-led forces started a manhunt for Osama bin Laden. Al-Qaeda got pushed to Tora Bora, a region to the east of Afghanistan and adjacent to Pakistan. After evading capture at the Battle of Tora Bora in December 2001, bin Laden's location became unclear. Many rumors started to circulate about his location, death, and continued role in Al-Qaeda. About 20 people were arrested in this operation. One of them was going to open a lead to investigators. Mohammed al-Qahtani. Initially, he denied his connection with Al-Qaeda. But later, the CIA got a clue. His fingerprints. On August 4, 2001, about a month before the 9/11 attacks, he tried to enter the USA on a one-way ticket with a couple of $1,000s in cash with him. Officers at the airport denied his entry to the US on the grounds that he might be entering the country illegally. On the same day, a call was placed from Orlando Airport to an Al-Qaeda telephone number in the United Arab Emirates. This coincidence made the investigators more suspicious about him. On this note, FBI agents looked into the footage. They identified a car rented by a person, Mohammed Atta. Atta was the wing leader of the 9/11 attacks and piloted Flight 11, which destroyed the North Tower of the World Trade Center. It was concluded that he was waiting for Mohammed Qahtani. Another arrestee was Abu Zubaydah, arrested in 2002. He informed the CIA about a person, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the operational commander of Al-Qaeda, was the chief architect of the 9/11 attacks. A year later, in 2003, he was also arrested in Rawalpindi, Pakistan. Mohammed Qahtani revealed that, in July 2001, while preparing for attacks, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed introduced him to a person who was previously unknown to the CIA, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. Till this time, there was not a single clue about the whereabouts of bin Laden. Nobody among all the arrestees had seen bin Laden for a long time. But he was continuously sending messages and letters to the other members of Al-Qaeda. In this light, the strategy was changed to look for his courier network. In mid-January 2004, Kurdish security arrested a man named Hassan Gul while he was carrying a letter addressed to bin Laden. Later, he was handed over to the Americans. In interrogations, he also said that Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti was the key person who was acting as a courier for bin Laden and managing all his business. At this point, there was a conflict of information. Mohammed al-Qahtani and Hassan Gul claimed a major role of Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, while college Sheikh Mohammed denied these claims and said that he had been retired and inactive for a long time. Another person, Abu Faraj al-Libi, arrested in Pakistan in May 2005, denied the role of Kuwaiti. At that time, the CIA was investigating a man called Hambali, the former leader of al-Qaeda's Southeast Asian affiliate group. He said that al-Kuwaiti did play a role in these attacks. Day by day, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti was becoming more interesting to the CIA. But it was quite difficult to track him. Even his original name was unknown. Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti was just an alias that translates as the father of Ahmed from Kuwait. In 2007, the CIA received important information from an unknown source, the true identity of Kuwaiti. It revealed his true name, Ibrahim Saeed Ahmed. He was an ethnic Pashtun and a Pakistani citizen. His family had been moved to Kuwait. He spoke a mix of Pashto and Arabic, a language spoken in northwest Pakistan. But his exact location was unclear. The National Security Agency reportedly tapped phone calls between courier Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti's relatives in the Persian Gulf to all numbers in Pakistan. And they found a suspicious pattern of locations. Most of the calls they get from Pakistan are from different numbers, from the city of Peshawar, likely from public telephone services. His own mobile phone remained turned off most of the time. He put a battery in it only while he was in the city of Peshawar. These activities increased the CIA's suspicions about him. In fact, in a conversation, when one of his friends asked about his whereabouts, he cryptically replied that he is with the people he was with before. He was tracked from Peshawar by Pakistanis working for the CIA. In August 2010, they tracked al-Kuwaiti as he drove from Peshawar to his actual residence in Abbottabad. The massive compound surprised investigators. It was a custom-built compound and significantly larger than the nearby houses. Its perimeter was a 20 to 18-foot high concrete wall with barbed wire. It had 2 security gates, and the third-floor balcony had a 7-foot high privacy wall. Additionally, this compound didn't have telephone or internet connections. These things were definitely telling that this compound was built to hide someone important. But it was not sure who that important person was. Whether he was Bin Laden or someone else. Many attempts were made to get a clue, like collecting fecal matter or a fake vaccination of children to collect DNA so that it could be matched with Bin Laden's other family members living in the Gulf. But nothing worked. The people living in this house were too concerned about their privacy. Even though Washington was not sure whether Bin Laden was there or not, they decided to do something that was not previously anticipated. On May 1, 2011, at 11 p.m. local time, 24 Navy SEALs in 2 Black Hawk helicopters, equipped with stealth-proof technology, took off from Geolayers airfield, about 190 kilometers away in Afghanistan, towards Abbottabad. The thing that made this operation even more dangerous was that the US government didn't inform the Pakistani authorities about it. Apart from this, this compound was located right next to the Pakistani military academy. That means the Navy SEALs would have to avoid getting notice. The flight from Jalalabad to Abbottabad took about 90 minutes. The first helicopter experienced a hazardous airflow condition known as a vortex ring state and crashed in the backyard of the compound. None of the SEALs, crew, or pilots were seriously injured in the soft crash landing. The SEALs encountered Bin Laden on the third floor of the main building. Eventually, he was hit by shots to the body and head. The initial shots either missed or hit him in the chest, the side, or the head. Shortly before 1 a.m. local time, he was killed. In total, 5 people died in this operation. The time between the team's entry into and exit from the compound was 38 minutes. The assault was completed in the first 15 minutes. U.S. personnel recovered 3 Kalashnikov rifles and 2 pistols, 10 computer hard drives, documents, DVDs, and a dozen cell phones for later analysis. The helicopters returned to Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan, where his body was properly identified. Later, the body of Osama Bin Laden was flown from Bagram to the aircraft carrier Carl Vinson in AV-22 Osprey aircraft, escorted by 2 U.S. Navy F-18 fighter jets. Bin Laden was buried at sea because no country would accept his remains. The body was washed, wrapped in a white sheet, and placed in a weighted plastic bag. An officer read prepared religious remarks, which were translated into Arabic by a native speaker. Afterward, Bin Laden's body was placed on a flat board. The board was tilted upward on one side, and the body slid off into the sea.